Yo.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I'm in the clouds, and of course, the best rate I've
What?
I'm trying to hit 4K, and now I'm white 9.
Dizzy? Oh, well, he only got. How come he only got +9 on that? Oh, that's because he's so high in cups. I see.
He's over 200 cups higher than I am.
Yeah, but I mean, how much of a difference does that make though? Because I've gotten people, higher than me, at least 100 cups higher than me. They get like 15 cups off of me.
I mean, when it's 100 higher, yeah, it'll probably be that if they two-star you. But to be below him, like me being 200 below him, he was worth 45 cups.
Oh, is that right? Dang, were you showing?
And that is the best rate I've seen since the damn update.
Oh, really? Did
And
were
if,
you?
and if of course it's him. Of course it's him. That's just my luck. That's the luck I've been having with this game lately.
Oh man. Well, hey, how is it with the clouds? Like, I'm actually hitting clouds right now in the 37. That's when I noticed it in the 3700 range. That's when you're actually like in clouds. Do you?
Yeah, but even then it's in and out a lot, so chat's kind of annoying at that point. But like right now, I was counting earlier. I was going 20 minutes plus without seeing a single base.
Is that right? Do you
And
actually
it's
do you end the search and then try again, or you just let it keep searching?
if it goes for a while, I always do the whole check chat thing to see if I'm still connected in chat. Which hell today that didn't even matter because I got rated twice while I was chatting. So,
Dang.
but yeah, I restarted it a lot. I restart the app a lot just to refresh the server or whatever. I don't know if that helps, but you get to a point where you're trying anything you can. You're reaching languages, you're kissing babies, you're kissing the cross, you're doing anything you can just to find a raid.
Yeah, I see what you
Because
mean.
20 minutes goes by and it's a 1 cup base. That's it.
Yeah, that
And you're
sucks.
trying for everything you can because you're trying to get that 4K or whatever. And the problem isn't winning raids or not. I mean, I still fail raids. I mean, we all have our bad days, but the problem is finding raids.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You know what? I'm starting to think that the best times to go on are like around 10 o'clock at night or so. That's when people have to go to bed. You know.
I don't sleep a lot, and there's been times where I've gone 2 or 3 days straight just in the clouds or whatever.
Oh man.
And I never notice. It's just a hit or miss. And it's weird because I'll be like in the chat searching, and like every time I've tried to get 4K, there's somebody else in the clan trying for 4K, and they're just posting raids nonstop, and I'm just sitting there in the clouds with thinking what the hell's going on.
Oh yeah. Dang.
So
It's
I mean, good for them, but annoying for me because I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
So
hey,
that's why
well,
I'm just like,
last time I saw you in the clan, you were at like 3,800. Now you're 39, so you must have been having some sort of good luck.
it's just I've had some, but like a lot of it is just me going nonstop. I don't stay in shield for longer than 10 minutes. If I
Oh
get
man.
rated, I'm breaking shield in 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
So, like I said, I really don't sleep a lot anyway, and
Well, I mean, you've done pretty well so far. I mean, when you came to the clan, you're showing off some 3 stars, and that's pretty much what I wanted to hope. I was hoping to get into more discussion with the 3 star stuff because
right.
I think a lot of people, including myself, like I've been trying to do 3 star battles. In fact, you know what? I've created my team so that it would be fail safe, so I would not mess up on my 2 star. But it seems some people are going for those 3 stars. So I mean, that's what I was hoping. Maybe you could give us some insight on how you're getting these 3 stars because you said you're using the Gowiwipe.
Correct. It's like yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's like what the best way for me to describe it is that it's like the best of both worlds as far as the Gowiwi and the Gowipe. It's the best of both worlds. And especially now with the heroes being as not you can't rely on them like you used to. So
I see what you
a
mean.
P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah.
here or there, the two P.E.K.K.A. combo really makes up for the difference that was lost as far as the king, especially the king. Because it used to be you can get the king in the core, and then once he got out of the core, that's when he hit his ability, and he was just plowing through the whole
Oh
base.
yeah,
And that was how you got 3 stars before the update.
it was over when he got in the middle.
Right, and especially if you were really good at being patient with his ability. A lot of people would use his ability, and he was plowing through, the rage spell already, so he was wasting the rage, wasting his ability because you're doubling up, and that that doesn't have any effect.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't stack.
if you were really good at getting everything to the core with your rage spells, and then once the king busted out of the core, that was when you were hitting his rage, his ability, and he was just plowing through the rest of the base, and then there's a golem with them, or there's a golem in front of the queen, and that's how you 3-starred bases back then.
Yeah, well, how do you
So,
how do you feel about the Gowiwi and the Gowipe now? Because I felt like before the update, the Gowiwi was, at least in my opinion, it was the strongest composition in the game. And then I know some people were actually really good at Gowipe, but now I feel Gowipe is a little stronger than Gowiwi. But I mean, now that you're implementing two compositions together, how do you feel that stacks up with this update? Like,
well, really, like I said, each of them have their strengths. Like the good thing about like Gowiwi is that you don't really you're not as concerned about the lure as you should be. As far as with Gowipe, you have to take, if you're not going to be luring, it's probably a safe bet to take, some lightning spells with you. Whereas with Gowiwi, it's not as big of a deal, but safe bet, whatever. But with the one that I'm running with the mixed version, you don't have to take lightning because you got the witches that are killing off heroes and killing off the CC, which I lure anyway, because that's one of the keys as far as I'm concerned to keeping units alive, is because you see a lot of people get their units get eaten up in the middle of the base because they're not luring the CC troops. The
yeah,
clan castle troops are just sitting in there, and they're another issue is that they pull your heroes or your P.E.K.K.A.s away from where you want them to go.
yeah, and
So
that's pretty interesting. Like I've been trying to figure out the steps on how to use the Gowiwi or the Gowiwipe, and
right.
I've tried, like I took out the clan castle first. I took it to the corner, and
Right.
then I used the golems next, and then wall breakers, and then heroes and P.E.K.K.A.s. So I mean, is that how you're going about it, or do you conserve some of your wall breakers to break down the walls before you use your jump spell?
Well, the whole thing is that I'm trying to the whole thing is I'm trying to preserve my jump spell actually, because I try to carry enough wall breakers to get to the core, and I try to save my jump spell to get everything out of the core.
Is that right? Okay, you use it to get out of the
Because
core.
correct, one of the issues you run into when you see it, if you watch a battle, pay attention. Once everything gets to the core, everything is firing on all those troops. So rather than you can freeze once you get to the core, you can freeze around you or whatever and be safe to get the core. But after that, you're out of freezes, you're out of everything else. Your troops are just sitting there getting slaughtered, and especially now with the way the heroes, they're not very good with walls at all now. Everybody knows that.
The king
That's no
especially.
that's no big secret. I mean, he can't bust a grape. So if you are able to get everything to the core using just your wall breakers and save your jump spell, then they can just hightail it out of the core. If you drop a jump spell in the right spot, they can just hightail it out of the core, and they're just, rather than being slowed down by the wall, they're just plowing through still.
Yeah, and you know what though? It's actually kind of interesting because when I went to your clan in the dark and I saw some of the replays, it was surprising because some people were actually still using hog riders and they actually 3-starred with them. What do you think about the hog riders? Are they still viable? Are they still good?
I think we're proving, and we're not the only clan that's doing it. That we may be doing more of it than some clans, but it's still proven that certain bases are still definitely hoggable, especially by the more skilled hog riders.
Right.
The update seems to have just kind of it's made it more difficult, but it's made it so there's the less skilled players aren't getting as lucky as they used to. So, and it's just more skill involved now.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any problems with your hero AI? Because I mean,
all the time.
Go ahead.
I have it all the time. One of the things is, I don't know why, but the queen especially just is weird about walls. I don't know what it is with her and walls these days, but she's got a thing for them. And let me tell you, it annoys me sometimes.
I think what it happens is I kind of figure out what it is like if a hero comes out to get you and then it goes back. Right, the queen will follow him, and then it won't go past and try and get him through the wall. She'll go for the wall and try and get it.
I can understand that part, but when it's at the end of the battle and there's no heroes, there's no CC, there's nothing. She's just shooting at a wall.
Yeah.
and then she busts the wall and then turns around and goes around to another wall. I mean, I have a few replays of that I actually saved where the one time I had like 3 barbarians were chopping away at a wall. I mean, it was taking them forever because obviously it's only 3 barbarians, and it was an almost maxed wall. So they're chopping away at this thing because they're trying to get at a building that was outside of the wall. Well, when the building got destroyed, they didn't even seem to care. They just kept going at the wall.
Yeah, they don't switch targets. Yeah.
Right. So even though the target's destroyed that they were originally going after, they were, so focused on this wall that once they destroyed the wall, they just turned around and went attack the other wall to get to another area. So it's the same thing with a lot of, I've noticed that especially now. I don't really remember seeing too much of that before the update, but especially after the update, I don't know if I'm just paying more attention or whatnot, but
Yeah, that I kind of noticed the same thing, and I'm sure a lot of people are as well. But it's really interesting to see a new troop composition that's being implemented into the game, and hopefully we can adapt. I know I am. I'm trying to use that the Gowiwipe and trying to use that. I've almost gotten a few 3 stars, but they're on the lower end bases that are the weapons aren't fully upgraded.
That's good basis to practice on and start, because a lot of it's spell timing, the biggest things.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? The internet kind of cut off. Could you say that again?
The spell timing is one of the biggest things you're going to find that makes the difference between a 2-star and a 3-star.
Is that okay? I see.
Because a lot of people, they get a little timid and they're trying to use the freeze way too soon. Well, now your units are getting on the tail end, they're getting more ate up on on the tail end rather than they were fine coming in.
That that reminds me of something. When you freeze stuff, are you going for Teslas or just Inferno Towers? Because I feel the Teslas are doing like the most damage on your troops.
It really just depends on the base. I mean, you can't really say I see the Tesla, I'm going for the Tesla, but there's some bases where you want. That's another reason why you want to kind of hold off, is because you see the Infernos and you're going up and you freeze them. Well, then once you get close, all of a sudden a Tesla pops up. Even though you froze the Inferno, the Teslas are just going to rape your troops now,
Mm-hmm. And what my last question is, what do you look for when you attack a base? Like, what do you look for in the design where you can just say to yourself, oh, this looks like a weak point right here for me to attack?
Well, I mean, a lot of it plays into, now especially which side the queen is on. I'm not as worried about the king as much because he's just, he doesn't do a lot. The queen can kind of, especially if, your wizards and witches and everything getting close, she can just pop them off nonstop,
Yeah.
So one of the things I look for is, especially if there's a multi. If there's a multi rather than a single, I'll try to go on that side, so I take that out first. So then my wall breakers, my witches, they aren't just getting demolished. The single Inferno is not that big of a deal until my high health units get in. Another thing I look at is just the design of the base and see the way the angles flow. The trying to get your troops in so they just work themselves through the base is the easiest thing you can do, rather than working against the base, work with the base, And that's another thing, is getting the troops through the base as easy as possible so they're not caught up and getting more hits than they need to just because they're just flowing through the base.
Yeah. So you said you attack where the queen is or where the king is? Because I've noticed, like, when I deploy my golems, the queen kind of like just tears up my golems whenever they get to that wall. I'm trying to deploy my wizards and then wall breakers, and then she's already got the golem down halfway. And you're only using 2 golems, right? You're not using 3?
Right, I only use 2. I used to do the straight Gowiwi, which was the 3 golems, and I had a lot of success, but with that, you're relying too much on your heroes.
Yeah.
They're usually... these days... I mean, there's been plenty of times where I want to throw my iPad because the second I deploy my king, he's dead. I mean, there's just, what happened?
Yeah, you gotta watch him.
Where'd he go? So, I run the 2 golems, and I've actually gotten, at first it was a little different because I'm so used to the spread with the 3 golems, and that was what I ran for a while there. So it definitely took a little bit of adjusting to get down with the 2 golems and be really proficient with it. And so now I can attack a base looking at 2 spots rather than looking at 3 spots. And the golems, they are, again, they're still just meat shields. So I actually have more firepower now. It just has to be spread out a little different.
I see. Hey, well, I want to thank you for coming on and just giving us some insight on how you three-star. And, I saw a lot of good replays that your clan had, and I'm using those for the video as well. But is there
Hey,
anything
have
else?
that, I mean, we have a lot of just great players, and that's one of the things that has helped me a lot is being in this clan and, you know, them telling me, especially when I was getting going and everything, was them helping me out and, pointing at this and pointing at that. And guys like KSA Thug, I mean, that guy is just a Gowiwipe machine, I mean, I've seen him 3-star bases. It's just how the hell did he do that? I mean, I just plan everything out and spread things just right and try to time everything just right. And he seems like he just rolls through it. So watching guys like that, especially watching him with his free spells, I mean, like I said, that's what makes us is that we have so many people that are just great at what they do.
Yeah. Hey, well, I want to thank you for coming on. Is there any shout-outs you want to do for your clan before we go?
Just thanks to the whole clan for being there and helping me out all along the way and putting up with me. I'm kind of I'm always out there. I'm trying to always make things interesting. I'm trying to always just keep things going. So, there's sometimes where I'm sure they're annoyed by me. There's sometimes where they're glad I'm there. So, I just want to say thanks to putting up with me and get me where I am.
All right. Hey, well, thank you for coming on, Juggernaut.
Thanks for having me.
All right, then. All right, you guys. This is Godson. I'll see you guys next time. Godson out.